Hello everyone, this is the Androdal, aka the German Viking, and I wanted to talk about the E3 conferences and my overall impressions of it. And I think it's been pretty meh this year, unfortunately. It shows that Sony is not there. I think personally, Sony has been the highlights of E3 the last few years, especially with their new games. And I can do every conference and what I thought of them. EA's conference was basically garbage. They had Greg Miller, and I mean the whole Jedi Fallen Order presentation was interesting, but I did not care about anything else they had. Not about Sims, Madden, FIFA, Battlefield. I I just don't care. If I'm being honest. And when it came to Ubisoft, they had some interesting announcements with the new Ghost Recon game that they announced, and they still support Rainbow Six, which is awesome for that player base. And you have Watch Dogs Legion. I need to see more to make up my mind. They just mentioned the NPC aspect where you can have multiple characters. It seems like they're going with the whole Shadow of War or the whole Nemesis system, except for that you control them all the time and you're not some sort of person recruiting them, so you get to play the people you recruit, and you have some stats. It was kind of funny to see a grandmother basically going around shooting people in the face. I thought that was funny, and I didn't care about the whole Just Dance and some other aspect of the Ubisoft conference, but I was overall surprised and liked some of the content, and also good to see they're still supporting For Honor. I've said this on streams and other videos. I have to respect Ubisoft actually supporting their games and sticking with them even when they initially fail. Rainbow Six saw this fail. Division, and they supported that, and hopefully they'll do the same with Division 2. And no Assassin's Creed, they had some decent music. If I'm being honest, I've heard better. But I always like classical music in especially when they implement it in the conference and it's decent. So, and then we have Microsoft, which had a ton of games. Why they bought Double Fine, I have no idea. It seems like such a it seems like wasted money because uh, I mean the guy who is running Double Fine, he's such a scam artist. He's just a scam artist. I just had to quickly Google his first name because I completely forgot his first name. Tim Schafer, like, of course, the guy who had the whole sock puppet during the GDC in 2015 or 16. That douchebag. Uh, I don't really care for Halo. If people love Halo and Gears of War, props to you. I just don't personally care about them, and they seem to be doing the right steps. What I was interested in the most were two things. They showed off Cyberpunk 2077, and they showed or they talked. They didn't really show. They talked about their new console. So most likely Sony is gonna do the same by not attending E3 this year. So you have You have Keanu Reeves, who came on and being cool as always, saying you're breathtaking after being called that, and he called everyone breathtaking. And just the showing a little bit of the story of Cyberpunk. Then you also have them talking about the next generation of consoles, where they're gonna improve on frame rate, resolution, which I don't really care about. I just want the games to perform well, to have at least try to have 60 frames per second, and also improve loading times, which helps in big games, which can be quite annoying when playing games and there are just unnecessary loading screens. And yeah, that's probably also a big waste of time when playing games. You just have to wait for it to load. So generally, you also had Bethesda. Jesus Christ, I couldn't stand to listen to the crowd. They had to be paid shills on the front row of that conference, basically screeching at every goddamn thing that was said during the conference. Oh, a mobile game, yeah. So screeching like it was annoying, to say the least. And Todd Howard, basically, well, he kind of admitted it, but not fully. They skirted it by saying, "Oh, there are so many players that stuck with us with Fallout 76." Yet you treated them like trash. You banned players. You didn't even add NPCs. It was such a garbage game. It broken freaking mess. And it's amazing that, even Sony went out and apologized for the massive screw ups when the hack happened. And you can't admit when you made a crappy game, and basically just have a laugh about it and admit to you would seem more human. And generally, none of the games interested me from Bethesda. If people who watched E3 this year were excited for the games, awesome, just awesome. Enjoy the upcoming games. For me, there weren't that many games. Jedi Fallen Order, the gameplay looks neat, but I would have wanted to see what Amy Hennig's game was going to look like, and that was unfortunately cancelled. Thank you very much, EA, for that, by the way. And so E3, except for Ubisoft and Microsoft pulling it a little bit up towards me liking it, Bethesda and EA did their freaking best. How do you make even more boring conferences than the year before? People were complaining about it being drawn out and vague with Bethesda and EA even managed to outdo themselves by being more boring. And something I took notice of was they hired Greg Miller at EA and Chris Waters for Ubisoft. And you have these people who review games that get literally paid to talk about and shill their games. And nobody raises an eyebrow because it's gaming, and that's how it is. Chris Waters, who supposedly works for GameSpot, So I double checked just to be sure. And Chris Waters isn't actually with GameSpot anymore, and Greg Miller does still review games, but I think it's I hate the word problematic that these people who review games get cozy and go to work for these companies they've reviewed games for. It's an incestuous relationship where you have someone like Greg Miller who actually does review his games and is on EA's conference and basically shilling their entire games lineup. And we're supposed to expect that these people are objective. That's what I've noticed. How I just can't trust reviews anymore. There is no one I can trust to do reviews. Maybe Angry Joe when he doesn't get too political. Usually he does a good job at reviewing games. But how can you trust these people when they either have reviewed games and then leave to these companies, or they actually they host the entire stream for them, and then you should expect them to be objective when they talk about their games. No, thank you. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. How can you expect a non-biased review of Jedi Fallen Order from Greg Miller and their team? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time.